Hello and welcome, fellow guitar players. Today, my name is Henning Pauli. Today we're looking at the new CorOs 3.3.0 and the Nano OS, don't ask me, 2.2.0, I think, from Neural. Neural's been busy working behind closed doors on new updates, and they're here. They're free. You just throw it on there. Are they going to give you everything you've asked for? I have no idea. I didn't know what you asked for. But they asked me to show you the updates, which is what I'm doing. So this is possibly a super boring video for people that don't own a Nanocortex or Quadcortex. And then my question would be, why don't you own a Nanocortex or a Quadcortex? Link below. Yes, this is a channel where we advertise things, but in an honest way. So if you do own one, great, you're getting new free shit. That's what made the Helix killer for 10 years. Always new shit. Don't pay for it. Buy once. Be happy you get new shit. And it looks like Neural is taking a cue from line 6 there by making the customers happy. You know, Camper people were like, whoa, here's new shit, but pay for it. Or you might actually be someone who has not jumped on the Quad Nano wagon, and these updates now convince you it's about time. We have sounds of a lot of the new stuff. Me and my capybara friends will take the 395 pages that are printed here. It's might be exaggerating. And we're going to go through it. So what's new? Well, the biggest new thing is Neural Capture version 2, which means there's now a version 2 of Neural Capture. What is Neural Capture? Well, in the Quadcortex or the Nano, you can play models. Wait, in the Nano, can you? No, I don't think so. I think the Nano is purely profile captures. Some people call it profiles, some captures, some models. I think they call it captures. Okay, fine. I think the Nano can only do captures, if I am correct, not models. But in the Quadcortex, you have models, meaning someone wrote code to make a digital program sound like an amplifier, hopefully as truly to the actual amp as possible. Some companies are doing component modeling where they literally model the behavior of each component and then stick all the programs together, and then technically you got the way the thing sounds. I don't know if Neural is doing that, but they do have models. Don't know what they call that. Wait, I will be able to tell you. Virtual devices, they call it. Could we maybe all call shit the same shit? It's a profile and it's a model. But no, here it's a virtual device and I don't know. And it's a profile, but it's a capture. And then line 6 is going to call it something completely different. Okay, fine. Virtual devices. There are new ones. But also the Quadcortex can do captures, hashtag, profiles, I don't know. So confusing. We should really find a way to make it the same things. Because on the Tonix, it's a tone model. But in a modeler, it's what they call a virtual device. And I've already lost you. On the Quadcortex, you can capture amplifiers doing profiles. On the actual device itself, that was version 1. You can hook up a microphone, go into the amp, and let it run its thing, and then Bob's your uncle, you got your amp in that one setting that you captured in there, which is why you usually need a lot of captures to show you the variety of possibilities in the amp, because once you're trying to change the captures with their gain and EQ and stuff, it's not actually behaving like the amp would be behaving. And that could all be done standalone with the Quadcortex, which is why I think it's a great unit. Now, they wanted to up the game, maybe chase the competition a bit, and they have Capture version 2, which requires an internet connection, because it is not done on the internal processor. It's going into the cloud and into the cloud. It's definitely going into the cloud, the big cloud in the sky, or the cloud either the cloud or the clown. And there's a big hive mind mega computer at Neural who's doing the processing for you, because it requires more processing. And it requires, even with the massive mega clown processing they have, a bit more time. But it should result in more accurate captures, according to them, especially for things that are very dynamic. Bass rigs, compressors. I don't know why they're saying fuzzes. The behavior of a vintage, or the dynamic cleanup behavior of a vintage fuzz. So fuzzes, when you roll down the volume cleanup, and that is something that now can be modeled quite a bit better, which I now realize in my demo that's coming later, I didn't really do too much. Sorry. The natural broom of a sagging power amp and the fast transient response of a studio compressor. Dynamics is modeled better or captured better. That's the whole idea. That can now be done in Quadcortex. You can still do version 1 captures on the actual unit, which are fine for most things. If you got something very dynamic, run version 2, but you need an internet connection to go to the big clown in the sky. And I'm sticking with it. In the Nano, you can, at the moment, play version 2 captures with Nano S220, I think. But you cannot yet capture them. You can do version 1 captures completely off the grid with this, plug in a mic, run into your amp, Bob's your uncle, in 5 minutes, you got the amp. You can play the V2 captures, but not yet make them. That might be a future update. And with Neural, who knows when? Promises. You know what I'm talking about, Neural. Okay, or the Cortex cloud uses metadata entered during the capture process to improve processing accuracy. So it's important to enter the correct device type. So maybe they're running some kind of AI thing where you tell it it's a fuzz and then it kind of knows things about fuzzes. And in the new Neural Capture V2 block are now new categories: overdrive, fuzz, and compressor. Included, so that you can wet your whistle, 17 amps with a shit ton of captures for each. Obviously, it's impossible for me to show you all that. I will show you a bit. These are the new amps. I didn't know quite exactly if the Tech 41 GED12 was a bass thing. GED Getty. I was thinking bass, so I played bass through it. And the PS preamp I always used for bass, and I actually sold mine to Billy Sheehan. No, it's not true. Didn't sell my PS to Billy Sheehan. Billy Sheehan collects PS preamps, and I just sent mine to him. And he said he'll buy me an orange juice for it, which never happened, Billy. You owe me. There's 2 combo amps. There are 4 compressors. There are a bunch of fuzz pedals, which in my demo later all sound pretty horrible because fuzz. And also, I ran them through a rather simple setup, which I will tell you about in a bit. But yes, they're fuzzes. That's what you want from them. There are new overdrives, primarily some love pedal stuff and an HM2. This is an information video. It's not rocket science. I show you what's there so you are happy about it because you already have a Quadcortex. Or now you see the love pedal thing and you're like, yeah, I want to buy this now. There are new virtual devices in CorOs 3.3, which I will also show you. Loads of caps. I will not show you the loads of caps, but you can see the loads of caps right here. It's a load of caps. Interesting that they are virtual devices and not IRs. So I don't quite know how that works. There's one new amp, which I skipped in my demo later, so I'm going to do that now. The Dumble ODS, Overdrive Special. And there's some fun things, some destructy things. The monosynth, which was included in the archetype Rubia X, and now everyone has access to it, even the people that don't have archetype Rubia X. Rubia does really cool things with it. Later in my little demo, I do not. There's a microprocessor that's an Eventide micro pitch, so you could do the 80 stuff if you wanted to. There's a pattern tremolo, which is super cool. Super cool stuff. There's a Bit Crusher engine if you want to do Super Mario. I mean, they already had most of the shit that's cool, so now they're adding the, weird stuff. There's a phase locked loop, meaning that it's based on an Earthquaker device's data corrupter. That's to go crazy and icky. There's 81 Creations Drive. There's Sub Octaver, which was probably more for bass stuff, but actually on the guitar sounded really cool. A Spring Reverb engine that sounded as if it had some kind of weird digital artifacts. It sounded like it's not quite ready. Sorry, Neural, if I'm saying that, but in the little test I did, sounded like I wouldn't use that. And an Ottawa, not the one from Canada, which is taken from the Akita Cory Wong X, which I wanted to show you, but I couldn't find it. It's somewhere. All the new stuff has a little dot on it, which is actually, for a user, really cool. So you can go through the interface and find it relatively easily. Furthermore, Wi-Fi domain settings, I think, depending on where you are, it sends you to the right cloud, something like that. The capture library folders have changed. They have subfolders now. There's a new filter behavior. And of course, the Cortex control is now on version 1.4. So all your beautiful desktop control is showing you all the new stuff as well. So before we get to the Nanocortex, skip ahead if that's what you got and that's what you're interested in. I'll show you things. Here we are. This is preset 1. Typical Brit thing. Okay, and that's a virtual device, as far as I know, I think. Yeah. So if I click on this, I can change it. Right, these are the virtual devices. Oh, let's actually go to the Dumble. It's alphabetical, that helps. And you can see there's a little dot. That makes it super easy for current users to find the new shit. So here you don't need loads of different captures because it's a virtual device and it will actually behave. And that's Dumbly. You go to the clean, all of a sudden, where's my volume? So we're gonna go volume and then presence master. Here we go. Oh, there are also new 2-rock caps. So maybe let's change that cap. Again, you see the new caps. So that would be under T somewhere. There we go, 2-rock EV, that should be 1. It's tough to play. It isn't. Of course, that's what we want. That's juicy. Now that's a nice Dumble. Honestly, that is way cool. Okay, moving on. Gonna go back here. And here are the captures, right? So we're gonna go back. And it's showing you the capture library. It's showing you the captures V1, which you're all familiar with. It's showing you the V2. And of course, my captures, which I have 0. So here's two in the order of amps, combo amps, compressors, and so on. Combo amps, there's one I haven't checked, which would be the Gibson. And probably don't need a cab there, right? So let's see. Turn the cap off. I do need a cab. So they have the cap separate, I guess. I don't know how that works. Shouldn't a combo be always with the cap? I don't know. Not sure how they're doing that. It's shown as a combo. So again, you go to amps, pick your poison. Let's go to the 2203, which is similar to what was there on the first preset. And these are loaded different captures at different volumes, at different gain stages. They have a captured dumble. And many, many more. If you want a deep dive on any of the new stuff, Neural told me they have individual videos for all of it. We'll see. That would be cool. If you want the data corruptor thing or how the monosynth works, I can't show you that, right? Because if I go in here, let's see, do something, I don't know, instead of this thing, gonna go to synth, monosynth, yes. Oh, I'm gonna turn that on. As a synthesist, you could do a shit ton of cool things with that. But this video will be 17 hours long if I go into every single thing and show you. So let's go quickly into, as quickly as I could show you things, the new stuff. Some of it will not sound brilliant because I didn't make presets. I show you the thing as isolated as possible. For that, I made this CorOs 3.3 preset. And as you can see, everything's off except for the amp and the cab. I use the same cab for everything. That makes it easier. 412 Brit. Okay, that's a classic. And I switch the amp. For the bass amps, I use an 810 cab. Makes total sense. And then for the effects or the compressors, I used a Fender capture into the same cab. So there are no other effects, no delays, no reverbs. They're pretty isolated, which for some of it doesn't sound the greatest. You might want to actually build a preset around it with some compression, non-compression, the right cab, and so on and so on. But if I did this for this video, we'd be looking at, again, a ridiculous amount of work to go into it, given all the captures. And also, I'm showing you one capture per amp. For some of them, there are 17 captures or 30 captures. Overall, there are 600 captures of amps and effects and fuzzes and overdrives in the new version that they're giving you for free. So let's start with the bass, because why not? Here we go. Here are the amps. Again, same cab, nothing else, no effects, and shitty playing. Here are the new amps. Oh, by the way, as you could already see on the bass, I am so sorry. I did this over in Studio C on my desk and just hooked up a little action cam over the Cortex. And yeah, I didn't see it. The light was glaring into this bit, which I did specifically so you could read this name, which in these you can't really read too well. Shit happens, and can you believe Neural's paying for this quality? I can't, but they are. Thank you, Neural. So I mean, in the end, it doesn't matter too much. You know the sounds are there, and you know roughly what sound it was. Roughly. I'm so sorry. Okay, and last but not least, let's go into the fuzzes and some effects. Really, I just went through really quickly, and some of it is just, I don't even know where I'm going, but that's what we do. So there you have it. It's really nice to have this new structure here. I like it. It's very clear whether you're in V1 or V2. And again, V1 isn't worse. It can be done offline on the actual unit, and it is totally okay. But if you wanted more detail for dynamic captures, use V2. But for that, you need access to the big cloud in the sky and their servers. It's very nice that there's different categories, because otherwise you're looking at a ridiculously long list, and that can be annoying unless probably you use the editor. I always try not to use desktop editors because I'm thinking the hardware should be so easy in terms of the user interface that you don't need it. And in this case, you don't need it. And they made it easy by making these lists shorter and alphabetical. I think it's absolutely handleable. So let's go and see what's new in, it's not that much actually, in the Nanocortex. So here we are. What's new? It can, as I said in the beginning, use and read the V2 captures. And everything that you heard and seen is available in NanOS. NanoS. It's like a Nano's OS. 2.2.0. So it's support for neural capture, but cannot neural capture 2 on the unit. That might happen at some point. There are 669 V2 captures included. 669. 69 is a sexual thing. Maybe someone did that for fun. Who knows? Across 41 different devices, and they're all the same ones that we have seen. It's giving me all the same stuff again. Why do I have? This is CorOs. Cortex Cloud offline mode. That's important. Since this is controlled with an app, apparently it wasn't working when you didn't have internet. If you're on some remote island and you wanted to do a settings change, it apparently wasn't working because you weren't online. Now you can connect to it with Bluetooth with the Cortex Cloud app and make settings even though you don't have an online, so they're calling it offline. So it's a thing. Automatic sum to mono, that's important. So when you have these beautiful stereo effects, absolutely beautiful, and you only plugged in one cable, then you were losing the other side. Let's say you got a ping, pong, ping, pong, ping, pong. All of a sudden you only have ping, 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 because the pong is left on the other side. My friend Perfecto de Castro ran into that problem when he wanted to use the Nanocortex on tour and running out of one of the outputs into a power amp and cabs on stage. He wasn't running stereo and he was losing half of the information. When Neural was asked about that, full disclosure, sorry Neural, they said, oh, you're going to have to reprogram all your presets with the mono versions of the plugins. The real answer should have been, oh yeah, didn't consider that, we fucked up, we're going to put that in the next update, thank you for pointing it out. The passive-aggressive, well, you're going to have to do the work yourself and change all your presets, not the greats. That's just what I heard, what do I know? But, okay, you know what? They listened, and now it does sum to mono. So if you plug only into one of the outputs, it automatically sums both sides to mono, and you're not losing anything anymore. Good job, Neural. There's a new tremolo, we're going to look at it. Capture auditioning. You can now quickly audition captures, and I asked you to the Cortex Cloud app. Audition directly from the cloud on or your device with a single tap. Headphones on the... I don't know how that works. Cloud backups. Create up to 5 backups of your Nanocortex and store them on Cortex Cloud. That's cool. You lose yours in a tragic canoe accident, and you have a gig in the evening, get a new one at the local Neural Nanocortex store where it's available, meaning nowhere, meaning order it from Thomann overnight. And, I mean, you know, local stores are dying. That's my point. If you can find one or get one from a friend that has one or whatever, you can now go and get the whole thing right back to it. You can rearrange your presets. They fixed system stability and performance. New form of content management. It's just fixed. Hardware expression and MIDI control, fixed. And now on to the one thing that they actually added to this, which is, let's see, I'm going to go to the Dumble here. Looking at my presets here. That's fine. And we're going to, that's a 110. I like that. Going to turn the delay off. And under modulation, instead of this chorus, we should now have a tremolo. And there it is. Brand spanking new. And it is a rather complex one. It already sounds nice. Now it's synced. So it'll likely also sync to incoming MIDI clock. And of course you have subdivisions here, right? Depth. Yes, we can do the stutter. You can boost it because the tremolo will take your volume down a bit. The duty cycle, duty means poop, will, instead of doing a 50-50 square, will actually make the beginning a little bit shorter and the ending longer, meaning shorter stutter, or vice versa. Same thing for any. You can really create your own waveform. That is pretty damn cool. We got a saw up. That doesn't have a duty cycle. I said duty again. Stereo! Now summed to mono if you want to. If the LFO isn't active, then what's the point of the tremolo? You can turn it on and off, and then the tremolo will fade in and fade out. Haven't seen that anywhere. That's way cool. So the question is, How do you turn that on and off? Does it respond to continuous controllers? Because last time I checked, the Nanocortex, I mean, the first time I was trying MIDI stuff, wasn't responding to continuous controllers. Maybe they added that, maybe not. Maybe that's a thing you can do with the continuous controller, but what do I know? That's what they added, and that's a really cool addition. And of course, they added neural captures. Right there. They are right now in a location where only I can see them. You can't see them because it's a week before release. But here are all these 669 neural captures V2, right? So if I wanted, I can audition that here somehow. Obviously, we might want the tremolo off for that, right? That's a lot of gain. Yeah, it's all there. All the amps, new effects, monosynth. No, that's not correct. No, the monosynth is that's a virtual device. That's only available in the cloud Quadcortex. But the V2 captures all that. You get it. Or it's a link below, but no. Go update your quad. Go update your Nano. Get shit for free. Now they're even better. And who knows what you guys are going to do with the new V2 captures? Who knows what they're going to do with the new V2 captures? And yes, plugin compatibility is there for a bunch of them, but not all of them. I don't own any of the something X's. I have a bunch of the amps. But of the amps, the only one that showed up was the Soldano, but the whole Soldano suite, all the plugins and the amps are in there if you so choose. But you know what? They had Soldanos before. I'm really not the guy that is like, it has to have plugin compatibility. I really don't care. It has so much shit in it already that even without plugin compatibility, the Quad and the Nano are great devices. That's what I gotta say. I'm out. Thanks for sticking with me and Animals at the end.
Hold on tight. There's no one I'd rather have here by my side. I guess that's just married life. You're the most marvelous mother and wife. I promise to hold you tight and give you my love till the day that I die. I guess it's just married life.